Winchester, Virginia is actually the fastest growing city in all of the Commonwealth of Virginia. It's 50% higher than the state average, but guess what? It's all calculated. There is a strategy behind Winchester's transformation that's attracting thousands of new residents and millions of dollars of investments. And if you're thinking about moving or investing here in Virginia, you need to understand how little old Winchester is starting to boom. So here's the how, why, and when in 5 major factors and one massive project that's coming in 2025 or 2026. All right, so we have to talk about the population boom. Let's start with a little evidence, the numbers that prove Winchester is booming. A little warning before we start. Some of these numbers are actually pretty unbelievable. I even had to double check some of them, but rest assured they all come from official first-party sources, so I didn't just go out and do my own investigating and just guess. So let's talk about Winchester's current population. As of July 2024, there's 29,294 people with an annual growth rate of 1%, with Virginia's average growth rate at just 0.7%. Winchester's growth is 50% faster than most of Virginia. Consistent year-over-year expansion, steady, consistent growth, and not a one-time population spike. So we're talking since 2020. Relocation stats show that educated professionals are actually looking for that small town feel that Winchester offers. And Winchester doesn't actually give up that big city jobs, right? You still have somewhat access to DC. Homes cost a lot less than they do here in Northern Virginia, which we'll definitely talk a little bit more about later. And hundreds of thousands can be saved, and it's attractive for educated professionals with better value and quality of life. The new population growth promises to increase money expenditure, start businesses, demand good schools and services, create jobs for others, and represents a move towards a long-term living rather than temporary stays. That pressures the local economy to step up and grow, which brings me to the next factor, which is actually driving Winchester's boom. You know what a funny thing is? I actually saw that Winchester was named the #1 place in all of America to retire, if you can believe that. Now, if you're finding this Winchester data fascinating as I am, definitely hit that subscribe button, because I dive deep into Virginia's hidden growth markets every week. I cover cities, neighborhoods, homes, developments, and more. So hit that subscribe button. So let's talk a little bit about economic performance, right? This may come as a surprise to some of you, but Winchester has been doing great for years, even pre-COVID years, and here's how. Let's talk about regional economic rankings. Winchester's metro area ranks second for economic strength in all of Virginia. It's beating much more bigger cities like Norfolk and Richmond. Winchester has more jobs now than it did pre-COVID, and other cities in Virginia still haven't not even come anywhere near recovery. And there's actually growth among multiple sectors like retail expansion, transportation and logistics companies, manufacturing, schools are hiring more, and healthcare is definitely booming. You obviously have Shenandoah University, which a ton of my friends went there. That is an absolutely beautiful campus over there. And that's another driver of Winchester's economy and community growth for sure. Located in the heart of the city, enrolls 4,000 students annually across more than 200 areas of study. Its nationally recognized programs in health sciences, business, and the arts attract students from pretty much all over the world. The university also serves as a top employer and contributes heavily to the local economy through innovation, workforce development, and cultural events. Its ongoing campus improvements and partnerships with local organizations is actually a cornerstone in Winchester's future. Winchester is actually home to John Hanley High School, which is one of the most beautiful and well-respected schools in all of Virginia. You know, the judges is what they go by, but Hanley consistently ranks some of the top performing high schools in the state. It's got a unique funding model supported by private board of trustees, provides access to top tier facilities and programs, and it has high performing schools like Hanley are a major reason why families choose Winchester for the long term. Then you have Laurel Ridge Community College, largest dual enrollment program in Virginia, allows high school students to take college classes, graduate with diploma, college credits, built-in training pipeline for the local economy. Winchester has become a job market for the region. People drive in from other counties, more money for local businesses, restaurants, and retail stores. So the job growth in Winchester is actually beating the state average. Wages are going up faster than other similar Virginia cities, and workers score higher on skill tests. And then you have diversification across all kinds of different industries. It's not dependent on like one primary sector like the government or maybe a data center industry. They definitely have all kinds of different industries in Winchester. And if any take a hit, the rest can actually keep the economy there in Winchester still stable. And when you have this much economic activity, something starts happening to the housing market. The housing market is racing. If you combine all that job and population growth, it's only natural that the housing market will also react. One of the things I like about Winchester, when you're going over to like maybe Stevens City or down like the city of Winchester, kind of just Frederick County, Winchester, there's a lot of really cool new subdivisions. Like you got D.R. Horton's building down there, and there's a couple other builders that I've worked with. The houses there are actually really affordable. I mean, you can get a new home for around $500,000 to $600,000. The same house in Fairfax would be $1 million. And a lot of the community, there's a ton of space, so they will have the pools, community centers, like tennis courts, pickleballs. That's actually a huge advantage. Probably one of the rare areas that you can get a good deal on new construction, and that's something that I help people with all the time. Now listen to this. Home prices in Winchester have actually jumped 9% year over year, and the median home price is $395,000, which is a lot more affordable than Northern Virginia, but prices keep climbing. Houses sell on average in 25 days. It's fast. Homes receive multiple offers the first week. Competitive bidding isn't unusual, and buyers must be ready to move quickly. I've worked with a lot of people that watch this YouTube, and we'll go around Winchester and we'll do virtual tours. That's really common because you have a lot of people from the Army Corps of Engineers moving into Winchester, the FBI, or a lot of people who move in Ashburn. You can still get a really good deal, and we can negotiate you some good pricing for sure. So if that's you, let me know. Let's book a Zoom. Email me anytime at info@colganteam.com. I just had someone with the Army Corps of Engineers buy a brand new house at Winchester, and I was able to get him $20,000 in incentives from the builder. Now, this is all simple math, right? More people are buying than selling. Builders are constructing, but not fast enough, and the market isn't keeping up with demand. Comes from population growth. Young professionals and families are choosing Winchester, and new jobs are creating more people with money to spend. And then you also have external market pressures, right? Like the DC factor. You can buy more house for the money in Winchester. Like I said, I mean, a $500,000 house in Winchester is probably going to be $1.2 million, close to DC, and even better now with remote work. And yeah, that's still available for a lot of jobs and not a long commute, or maybe you just go in 1 or 2 days a week. The location, you definitely cannot beat it. And also you're right off 81, which is huge. So real savings, you can get a basic townhouse in Northern Virginia for $600,000. The same money in Winchester will get you nicer, more space, and the best schools. Developers are paying attention to all that unanswered demand though, and new construction projects are popping up everywhere. Some coming this year, and the next we'll see in a minute. So what's the market impact like for buyers? Prepare for competition. Houses priced right that show well will sell really fast, and you might need to make offers over asking price. We do a thing a lot here in Northern Virginia or the Virginia area called an escalation clause, and that's something that I can help you with. And then for Winchester, higher home values means more property tax revenue, and that means better schools, roads, and city services. And construction jobs create money into the local economy, and then the housing boom spreading to surrounding areas, and that lifts the whole region. One community that I would definitely consider if I was like looking outside of Winchester is going to be Lake Frederick. Now, Trilogy Homes, they have a 55 plus area, then there's regular townhomes there as well. When I say regular, it's not active adult. That place is absolutely beautiful. You have the huge lake there. There is all kinds of things to do. One of the things, if you're not familiar with Winchester, is they have the Apple Blossom Festival. They actually had Carlton from the Fresh Prince, the guy that does the dance thing. He actually was the Grand Marshal. Then my friend Brian Mitchell is a former Redskin. So they have the huge parade. That's kind of like a spring kickoff. It's like a carnival that goes on all week. So there's all kinds of things, but definitely check out that Lake Frederick, and we can show you there as well. But let's talk about this master plan. This isn't just some wild phenomenon, right? Like the growth is being directed by city leaders and who have a specific plan for managing the expansion. So the comprehensive plan created in 2022, roadmap for the next 10 to 20 years, 10 areas with different goals, focused on building up concentrated areas, apartments and townhouses near downtown, mixed-use buildings above shops and restaurants, and take sizes into consideration. Winchester, the city area, I guess it's probably only about 9.3 square miles with limited room to spread, right? So focuses on making better use of all the existing space they have. I mean, the walking mall there is absolutely beautiful. I think there's a sign there that says like started in 1787. So there's also a ton of history in Winchester. Now, we gotta talk about the 5 key catalyst areas. You got downtown that stays as the main business district. Then you have Meadow Meadow Branch Avenue gets redesigned as a major corridor. The old natural fruit area transforms into industrial and mixed use. And then the plan identifies 5 key areas that drive most changes. Downtown stays as the main area, where Berryville Avenue gets a makeover as the main entrance to the city, and then Ward Plaza as having the biggest transformation. It's an old, struggling shopping center that was sold in 2023. That's actually getting a complete do-over. A new version of that shopping center will have a Publix as a main acre, apartments, townhomes, smaller retail shops, completely walkable bike paths, no more food or dessert problems, and a lot more tax revenue for the city. And there's other neighborhood design districts, right? Like you have smaller transformations in other neighborhoods like Cedar Valley and Cedar Hill, rezoned from old industrial to mixed residential and commercial. Clear rules of what developers can build, so no guessing games, no long approval process, and faster progress for the city. Winchester is also investing in infrastructure, $15.2 million just on Millwood Avenue. Traffic is expected to double by 2045, which isn't that great. With state help, improvements include better traffic flow, safer pedestrian crossings, and upgraded utilities. And speaking of new development, the pipeline for the next 2 years just shows just how much momentum Winchester has built up. But before we get into that, if you like updates like this, you'll love my newsletter. I drop every week things that will really affect your home value. What's coming to the area, the job market, how's the housing market. I'm gonna drop in the description a link where you can just sign up for the Real Nova newsletter. Definitely check that out. All right, let's talk about major developments. Right now, Winchester has 42 active development projects in the works, 42 projects with funding, permits, and construction timelines. And the best thing, most will be done by the end of 2026. So let's talk about these. Valley Health is building a new rehabilitation center, 107,000 square feet, specialized medical care for people recovering from strokes, brain injuries, and major surgeries, latest therapy equipment. And that's going to open in late 2026. Valley Health is also building a new primary care center on Grocery Avenue with 19,000 square feet, underserved parts of Winchester with 18 exam rooms, a full lab, and that's going to be opening this fall. Then you also have the Reserve at Winchester, a 246 unit apartment complex coming in 2026. Garden style apartments with lower buildings, more green space, more residential projects are planned in the district mentioned, featuring new housing, retail, and office space. People will be able to live, work, and shop all in the same area. And there's a lot of public safety infrastructure going on as well. You got the new fire station on West Monmouth Street. Construction starting this year addresses growing population need, especially necessary on the south side of town. And there's other infrastructure improvements going on, replacing old storm drains in the downtown, upgrading water and sewer lines, installing new sidewalks, and repaving the streets, thank God. So what's the economic impact and future confidence of Winchester? Where all these projects together represents millions in investments, creates hundreds of construction jobs, hundreds and more permanent jobs, much bigger tax base to fund city services. Confidence in Winchester's future. Companies don't invest millions for no reason. Developers don't build for no reason, right? There's a reason why Winchester is kidding all of this development. It's because a lot of developers in Wall Street definitely see the value in Winchester. I want to talk a little bit again, like if you are going to consider Winchester, which I think you should, you might want to consider Stephen City. It's about the same price point. There's still some great things. You're also still over by that Alamo Draft House. You're still close to Valley House, and you're right off Interstate 81. The cool thing about Stephen City and Winchester, you're not that far from Ashburn and Loudoun County. So a lot of people will move out to Winchester who are working in that tech corridor or maybe data center alley. Then also, like I mentioned, Lake Frederick, which is the fastest growing lake community probably in Virginia right now. It's over 100 acres surrounded by scenic walking trails, picnic spots, and stunning views of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And a bunch of my friends that I lived out here in Northern Virginia moved there. And of course, I sold them all places. And you have the 55 adult community with a lakefront clubhouse. And it's ideal for those seeking tranquility with easy access to everything that Winchester offers, like shopping, healthcare, jobs, and culture. Home values here are rising fast. So definitely check that out. And like I said, we sell in Winchester all the time. Plenty of my agents sell there. Definitely book a call to us. Email me info@colganteam.com or text me anytime. But let's talk just a little bit more and break this down one more time. So this isn't just a random expansion, right? You have location. Winchester sits between Washington, D.C. and the Shenandoah Valley. Proactive planning, city leaders actively managing growth for clear frameworks for quality development, rock solid economic foundation, diversification in various industries, regional hub of healthcare and education, and it all leads to sustainable managed growth. So there you have it. Winchester's boom is no accident. It's the result of deliberate planning, smart economic policy, and strategic location. If you'd like to know more about how this booming market or any other Northern Virginia Virginia market could benefit you, then make sure you contact me, info@colganteam.com. And if you'd like to know more about changes coming to other areas of Northern Virginia, I have the video detailing every major update you need to know about that's going to be happening here in our wonderful state of Virginia. It's going to be linked on the screen here. Definitely hit that subscribe button. Like I said, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, nobody knows Virginia better than me. Let's jump on a Zoom, talk more about your goals. I can help you whether it's a resale or new construction anywhere in the DMV area. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you at the top or from the top.